I really like being on YouTube, but sometimes it drives me fucking mad. And one of the reasons it drives me mad is there's such a bunch of fucking dickheads on there. The present company accepted, of course. I mean, you're not a dickhead, obviously. But there's so many people out there that are, aren't they? And the particular bunch of dickheads that annoy me right now are the people who are so assertive about what they know. They're so sure about the claims that they make. And I don't really just mean religious people here, although religious people certainly, some of them, not the majority, but some certainly fall into that category as well. Just complete fucking dickheads, whose the measure of their certainty so outstrips the amount of actual information they have that it's kind of breathtaking to behold sometimes. I had a small comment exchange with someone called iTheist earlier on today about consciousness, and the degree of certainty, the degree of positivity this person seemed to hold was so out of step with the actual information that they had at their disposal. You know, I mean, clearly, I mean, they've obviously read a little bit about the philosophical zombie, they've read a little bit about Chalmers' hard problem. But the state of consciousnness studies is so far in advance of that stuff now. And this person is clearly so far behind the curve that it's kind of astonishing, really. And as I say, the amount of certainty they express their half-baked ideas it's just incredible, really. And it makes me wonder what's going on. I think one of the things that's going on there is that, and I think I've said this before, but I don't know if I've ever made these videos public, is that YouTube, you know, is essentially a consequence-free zone, isn't it? As opposed to other kinds of fora, other kinds of arenas, other kinds of environments. You know, like if you work in some kind of academic field, philosophical field, scientific field, whatever, even artistic field, you do it in public. And of course YouTube videos are public. But normally when you do it in public, within the context of an academic discipline or artistic discipline, something like that, you do it in public in a way that has consequences. So you get on your hind legs at a conference and you say what you think, and you're surrounded by your peers, people who are, many of whom will know more than you do about the thing that you're opining on. And your, you know, what you've got to say stands or falls according to how it's received by your peers. And their job, really, is to make you look stupid, is to point out things that you've got wrong. And when it's their turn to speak, your job is to do the same. But not in that kind of pawnage way that is familiar from YouTube, not in that simple way of ridiculing. No, you do it in a way which will threaten that person's livelihood. And they will do it in a way which threatens your livelihood, which threatens your professional reputation, will actually have real world consequences. You know, which is why that if you go to an academic conference of any kind, you know, people who put out ideas are usually very, very humble. Their ideas are hedged in with lots of caveats, with lots of maybes, with lots of conditionals, because they know that their professional reputation, their very livelihood, stands or falls on the basis of whether they're right or not. There are consequences for being wrong, and the consequences for being wrong force you to temper your confidence. On YouTube, there is no reason to temper your confidence, and so you get wankers and arseholes like iTheists, but loads of other folk as well, who I say, whose knowledge is minute, but whose confidence is enormous, who think they can just say, well, it's a fact, and that's that then, without doing any of the fucking work that it requires to establish a fact. I mean, I love YouTube for various reasons. I like the fact that it's a sandpit and we can put half-baked ideas out there and do things that are kind of interesting. But this is the bit that annoys me enormously. That bit where some twat is just asserting their particular brand of bullshit and mistaking it for an actual authority. Ugh.